Today's lesson is called The Creation of Thor's Hammer. Hello everyone, my name is Jeff.
And I am Roger, and today we've got a little bit of a treat for you. We're going to be talking about some Norse mythology. Maybe you have seen the movies with the mighty Thor and his mischievous brother Loki. Well, we've got a story all about Thor and about Loki and the creation of Thor's hammer.
There you go, Thor's hammer. Thor would not be Thor without his hammer. It's a hammer from the gods with special powers that only he can lift. Yes, in those Marvel movies, there are Thor movies, and then Thor and Loki and this whole cast and crew of characters. They also are a part of the Avengers movies. But yes, they're also a part of Norse mythology. And yes, today we're going to be reading one of the best stories of all from Norse mythology. We've got a story about Thor and Loki and all those guys and more, but we're also going to learn where Thor's special hammer comes from. How about that? Where did this hammer come from? Well, wait and see. Yes, we're going to take a break right now, but when we come back, we are going to answer that very question. Yes, where did Thor's special hammer come from? So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The creation of Thor's hammer. Loki, the god of mischief, was always looking for trouble. One day he went too far and cut off the lovely hair of Thor's wife, Sif. In a rage, Thor threatened to break Loki's bones, but Loki begged Thor to let him go to the dwarves, who were master craftsmen. He promised to bring back a new, better head of hair for Sif.
大家好，第一部分我们看到的单字是名词 creation。当不可数名词时，有产生、创造的意思，像是 The government hopes its new program will lead to the creation of more jobs. 政府希望这个新计划能够提供更多工作机会的产生。而这个字如果当可数名词时，则为创造物。我们可以说 The gallery displayed the artist's early creations. 画廊陈列这位艺术家早期的作品。
Okay, it's time now to discuss the contents of our lesson. Let's take a look at the title first, The Creation of Thor's Hammer. Now, to me, of course, a hammer is a tool that we use to pound in nails. And if you've seen Thor's hammer, it doesn't really look like the hammer that we use to pound in nails. It's more like a sledgehammer to me. A sledgehammer, of course, is a tool that we use to break up rocks and things like that, and it has a long handle, but in this case, Thor's hammer has a short handle, and we'll talk about that in our program today. But we do need to talk about this word creation. Creation, that's from the verb to create, which means to make something, especially if it's for the first time. So when you make something for the first time, that's its creation.
There you go. Now, the word creation can also refer to the making of something or the act of making something. But yes, like Roger said before, for the most part, when people are talking about a creation, they're kind of talking about an invention, something like that. They're talking about something that you make from scratch. Okay, that's what a creation would be. And here's an example sentence for you guys. You could say, the iPhone is a creation that Steve Jobs will be remembered for. He was behind the creation or the invention of the iPhone. But that's enough for modern electronics. Let's learn about the creation of Thor's hammer. And yes, we're not going to be using Thor's hammer to be driving nails into wood or anything like that. But hey, this hammer, even though it's like a short sledgehammer, it sure is powerful, super powerful, like a big, super magical sledgehammer. Anyways, let's get started. Our story begins with the following lines. Loki, the god of mischief, was always looking for trouble. Yes, by the way, mischief is trouble. But usually mischief is the kind of trouble that kids get into. It could be fun trouble. Yes, this guy Loki, he's always in trouble, but at the end of the day, he does the right thing. He comes around, and you kind of like him for that. He's the enemy, but he's kind of a lovable enemy. It's kind of strange in that way. More on Loki. One day, he went too far and cut off the lovely hair of Thor's wife, Sif. Now here it says that Loki went too far. That doesn't mean that he was trying to get somewhere, let's say using Google Maps or GPS or something like that, and he just walked too far a distance. No. Here, he was looking for trouble, and then he found trouble, and people thought it was funny to a certain extent, but then people got mad at him. They said, okay, that's too much trouble. You have gone too far, Loki.
Indeed. Sometimes, of course, we play tricks on other people. We pull pranks on them. A friend of mine told me a story that when she was in high school, a friend of hers actually pulled the chair out from under her as a kind of joke. Unfortunately, she landed on her butt, and that led to further trouble with her spinal cord when she became an adult. So we could say that her friend went too far. That was going too far. He carried that joke too far. And in this particular case, we've got Loki. He went too far with his tricks, with his pranks. And what did he do? He cut off the lovely hair of Thor's wife, whose name is Sif. Now, in a rage, Thor threatened to break Loki's bones. Maybe he was going to break every bone in his body. But Loki begged Thor to let him go to the dwarves, who were master craftsmen. Okay, so here Thor was in a rage. If you're in a rage, that means you are extremely angry.
Yes, rage. The word rage refers to extreme anger. So if you are in a rage, you are super mad. You're not saying, oh, don't you do that again, you naughty boy. You might say, I'm so mad that I want to break your bones. And I've never actually said that to anyone. I've never said, I'm going to break every bone in your body. That would be really weird. That would be going too far as your rage is concerned. But this is a story, and Thor is very mad with Loki. He's very angry, I should say, with Loki right now because this guy Loki has cut off Thor's wife's hair. So he's in a rage, or you could also say he is experiencing a fit of rage. Very often people do say that. You can be in a rage, you can be experiencing a fit of rage. For example, you could say, I flew into a rage when my sister broke my toy. Now, I did not threaten her at that point, but I was very, very angry.
I can remember lots of times when I was a kid when I flew into a rage. I'd rather not think about them right now, but here Thor was really angry. He was in a rage, and he said, Loki, I'm going to break your bones for doing that. And Loki said, oh, please, Thor, don't do that. Please let me go. Please spare me. And he let him, or at least he asked him, he begged him, please let me go to the dwarves. Dwarves, of course, are people who are shorter than other people, and they were master craftsmen. If you're a craftsman, that means you are good at crafts. You're good at making things. The dwarves can make all sorts of things. Maybe they can make baskets or metal tools, or maybe they can make nice little wooden houses or something. I don't know, but they're great craftsmen. They're good at building things.
Anyways, more on Loki. He said, okay, don't kill me, Thor. Don't break my bones, but I'll do something for you. Yes, next we learn that he promised to go to the dwarves there and to bring back a new, better head of hair for Sif. So remember, these dwarves, they're master craftsmen. They can build cool stuff using magic and stuff like that. So he figures he can go to the dwarves. They're magical. They make cool stuff with magical. So maybe they can go ahead and get Sif a new head of hair. All right, folks, with that, it's time for us to take a break, but don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
So Loki went to the sons of the dwarf Ivaldi, who made a stunning mane, the likes of which had never been seen. They also created two other gifts, a ship of thin wooden pieces that could be folded up and put into one's pocket, as well as a spear that would never miss its mark.
第二部分我们看到的单字是 stunning， 这个字是形容词，指绝美的或令人惊艳的。例如 The stereo speakers offer stunning sound quality， 这组音响喇叭具有出色的音质。而 stunning 这个字去掉字尾的 ning， 则成为动词 stun， 指使惊艳或使目瞪口呆。举例来说 Dana was stunned when her dog Elmo finally learned to roll over and do other tricks. Dana 的狗 Elmo 终于学会翻滚和其他的把戏时，令他感到震惊。接着我们看到的单字是名词 mane， 可以指人浓密的长发，也可以指马、狮等的鬃毛。例如 Jennifer is in the stables, brushing the mane of her favorite horse. Jennifer 在马厩内为她心爱的马儿梳理鬃毛。再来我们看到的单字是 spear， 这个字是名词，有毛的意思。例如 The Aborigines go hunting in the mountains with their spears. 原住民到山中打猎时带着他们的矛。而 spear 这个字也可以当动词使用，只用矛或叉子刺、戳，所以可以说The cook speared the slice of meat with a fork and put it on the grill. 厨师用叉子将肉排插起，并且放到烤炉上。
Now, the next part here, I guess Thor granted Loki's request. So it says here, Loki went to the sons of the dwarf Ivaldi, who made a stunning mane, the likes of which had never been seen. Okay, so he went to the sons of a particular dwarf by the name of Ivaldi. He did not go to Ivaldi himself. He went to the sons of this dwarf. And that particular set of sons, those two sons, made a stunning mane for him. Of course, here mane refers to a set of hair like lions have. Male lions have manes, whereas female lions don't. That's just a set of hair. And this particular mane was stunning, which means it's really, really attractive. It really grabs your attention.
Yes, we did have this word stunning to talk about. If something is stunning, it is amazing, really amazing. It takes your breath away. You see it, it's so beautiful. You might not be able to move slightly. You might be stunned when you see something stunning. Yes, stunning things are wonderful, terrific, impressive, super attractive, astonishingly beautiful, or surprisingly awesome. For example, the view from the top of Mount Everest is stunning. Once you see the world from the top of the world, you'll never see the world the same way ever again. Anyways, the sons of the dwarf Ivaldi, what did they do? They made this stunning mane, but they also created two other gifts. A ship of thin wooden pieces that could be folded up and put into one's pocket, as well as a spear that would never miss its mark. Now here there are two things. The latter of these things, let's talk about what a spear is. A spear is a weapon. It's a long weapon with a long handle with a pointed end. Yes, spears often look like long sticks or rods that have a blade on one end. They look like longer, big arrows. They kind of look like javelins, although javelins are a little bit more sophisticated. For example, long ago, hunters killed animals with spears. So that's the spear, but get this, the first of these things that these sons made, they made a ship that you could put into your pocket.
Ooh, that's very convenient if you want to go on a sailing trip around the world and you don't have a boat handy. Well, you can just reach in your pocket and take out this thin wooden boat, or at least this ship that is made of thin wooden pieces. That would be really, really great. And again, spear here, of course, you protect yourself from a spear with a shield. If you have a shield, you can protect yourself if someone throws a spear at you. So, yes, indeed, these are two other gifts besides this new set of hair for Thor's wife. Okay, that brings us to the end of the second part of our lesson. Let's now move on to the third part.
The brothers Brocker and Sindri overheard Loki bragging about the magnificent creations of the other dwarves, and Loki told them that they would never be able to create anything as powerful. He even made a bet with them, saying that they could have his head if they managed to make something better. The brothers accepted the challenge. Loki, however, was not going to let them succeed that easily, so he transformed himself into a fly.
第三部分，我们看到动词 brag 指吹嘘或自夸，可做及物或不及物使用。做不及物时，后面接 about 加名词。举例来说 ，Jonathan often brags about his kids' achievements. Jonathan 常常吹嘘他孩子的成就。最后我们看到一个片语 transform A into B， 只将 A 变成 B。例如 After the restaurant closed down, the building was transformed into a bakery. 餐厅关闭后，那栋建筑被改建成面包店。而片语中的 transform 为动词，表示使改变或转换。像是 Nadia's apartment has been greatly transformed by an interior designer. Nadia 的公寓被室内设计师完全改造了一番。另外，补充与 transform into 同义的片语 change into, turn into, convert into。举例来说 Darren had to convert miles into kilometers so he could better understand how far he had driven. Darren 必须把英里换算成公里，才比较知道到底开了多远。
Okay, so we've got one more paragraph to go before this part of our lesson is complete, so let's go ahead and read on right now. The next lines say, the brothers Brocker and Sindri overheard Loki bragging about the magnificent creations of the other dwarves, and Loki told them that they would never be able to create anything as powerful. So here's Loki. He's always finding a way to get into trouble, okay? He's talking to these dwarves here. He's trying to make sure that Thor doesn't break all of his bones. And yes, some dwarves make him some cool stuff, but then he starts bragging about it. And these brothers overhear Loki saying these things. And you know what? I think that they're going to get a little bit angry with him. But before we learn about that, let's learn about this word overhear. Yes, overhear, overheard. Overheard is the past tense form of the verb overhear. Now, if you overhear something, like a conversation, let's say, you hear or you listen to what other people are saying. You hear these people's conversations, or their conversation, I should say, and you overhear this, you hear this without their knowledge or their permission. But usually, that's okay. He didn't mean to do that thing. Let's say you overhear someone's conversation and you mean to do that. That's called eavesdropping. Then you're spying, and that's not a good thing. Anyways, for example, I overheard the conversation between Bob and Bill, but I didn't mean to.
Yes, or I overheard something in the office. Evidently, the company is being sold to a company in Australia. I overheard that. I did not mean to hear it, but I did. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. But anyway, we've got these brothers here, Brocker and Sindri, and they overheard Loki bragging about those creations from those other dwarves, the sons of Ivaldi. Oh, these are such great gifts. I really love them. Boy, the other dwarves can't possibly make gifts like these. These are really great. I'm such a great guy for having these things. Aren't I wonderful? Aren't I fantastic? Of course, he's bragging there. And they're magnificent creations. And of course, those brothers are probably raging mad because they hear that. I bet we can make something just as good or better.
And yes, they do. They overhear this and they go, wait a minute, we can outdo whatever these other dwarves have done. And Loki says, I bet you can't. Yes, Loki, he even made a bet with them, saying that they could have his head, they could kill him and take his head, if they managed to make something better. That being said, Loki is an immortal, so you can take his head, but I don't know if that would kill him. Anyways, I digress. Let's move on. The brothers, these dwarf brothers, they accept the challenge. The brothers accepted the challenge, but Loki, being Loki, he's not going to let this go so simply. Next, he wants to make sure that these brothers, they don't succeed, or he wants to keep tabs on them, so he does something.
That's right. The brothers accept the challenge. Loki, however, was not going to let them succeed. So what did he do? He transformed himself into a fly. We've got the verb here, transform. That means to change from one thing into another, just like the Transformers. They can change from big robots into trucks or cars or whatever. And usually we use the preposition into to transform from something into something else. So he transformed himself into a fly. You could also say he changed into a fly. Those are those pesky insects that seem to bother us when we have picnics. They like to land on our food, and we always want to shoo them away.
For example, the caterpillar transformed itself into a beautiful butterfly. Okay, folks, with that, today's lesson is in the books, and it's time for you guys to hear from the Chinese teacher.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们在漫威电影里面看到的洛基似乎是个反派角色，不过在北欧神话里面他是个恶作剧之神哦。有一天他玩过头，把索尔老婆的头发剪掉，然后索尔就气到想要打断他的骨头。我们读到课文第二部分第一句， So Loki went to the sons of the dwarf Ivaldi, who made a stunning mane, the likes of which had never been seen. 于是洛基就去找这个侏儒 Ivaldi 的儿子们，他们打造出一头美丽的秀发，像那样子的秀发呢是前所未见的。好，这边出现两个关系子句，我们先来看 who made a stunning mane， 其中这个关系代名词 who 指的就是前面 the sons of the dwarf Ivaldi， 侏儒Ivaldi 的儿子们。好，那因为这个先行词呢是明确特定的对象，所以它是用非限定用法。Who 的前面是有逗号 ，Who made a stunning mane 就是用来补充说明他们打造出一头美丽的秀发。好，那么接着来看到 the likes of which had never been seen。当我们用 the likes of 加上名词，就表示类似的人事物之类的人事物。那么 like 在这边它是当名词，就是指说同样或者是类似的人事物。举例来说 ，He's selfish and irresponsible.Don't waste your time on the likes of him. 他又自私又没有责任感，不要把时间浪费在像他这样的人身上。好，那么课文句子里面的 the likes of which had never been seen， 其中这个关系代名词 which 指的就是前面的 a stunning mane。那这个关系子句就是用来修饰诸如 Ivaldi 的儿子们所打造出的美丽秀发，来补充说明像那样的秀发是前所未见的。好，那么 the likes of which 就表示像先行词那样的事物， the likes of whom 就表示像先行词那样的人。好，那么当关系代名词指称的先行词是事物的话，我们就是用 which， 是人就是用 whom。好，那像这样子句型的用法呢，还有一种是量词加上 of which， 或者是量词加上 of whom， 像是some of which, some of whom 就表示先行词其中一些， many of which, many of whom 就表示先行词其中许多， most of which, most of whom 就表示先行词其中多数怎么样，还有像是 all of which 或者是 all of whom 就表示先行词所有的什么什么。举例来说 Mom bought 10 eggs, some of which were rotten. 妈妈买了10颗鸡蛋，那其中一些烂掉了。好，另外我们还可以用最高级啊，或者是数字，或是百分比，或是分数，加上 of which 或者是 of whom。举例来说 She has 3 daughters, the youngest of whom is a lawyer. 她有3个女儿，那其中年纪最小的那一个是律师。好，以上是今天的重点整理，我们来回顾今天的单字吧。
Creation. The statue is so detailed and realistic that its creation took the artist years.
Rage. Courtney had trouble controlling her rage when she found out that someone had stolen her cell phone. Stunning. The magazine's travel issue featured a stunning display of photos taken by readers from all over the world. Spear. Before the invention of modern weapons, spears were often used for hunting. Overhear. Ryan couldn't help but overhear the conversation the people next to him on the train were having.
Okay, everyone. With that, today's article is now complete. But, as always, we sure hope that you guys have enjoyed reading along with us. Anyways, I'm Jeff.
I am Roger.
See you next time.